I'm Cammie.
And I'm Moni.
And this is A Little Chat.
A Little Chisme. Hey, everybody. So today we have two beautiful guests. These are two amazing women who are not only moms, but mothers in every way. They have taken on many names over the years: behavior analysts, wives, moms, but they are amazing friends and badass women to me. And they began their podcast together and they call themselves the Scrunchy Moms. So welcome to A Little Chat, Little Chisme, Lyla and Savannah.
Hello.
Hi, babes.
We're so
How are
happy to
you?
be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
What an intro.
This is our first.
I know. It's like writing my vows again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thanks. No, this is our first guest appearance on another podcast. This is
Welcome.
a monumental moment for the Scrunchy Moms Club.
Yeah, I told my husband, I'm recording tonight, which we do. Lyla and I record virtually. I'm like, no, I'm a guest. I'm on a podcast. And he was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, I'm going up in the world,
I know. This is the next step for you guys.
Yeah, we'll be waiting our check in the mail.
We are honored
We are too.
to have you be
We are
our
too.
first guest.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bypass the check thing and say, we're happy to have you here.
Thanks,
And ignored
guys.
your ass. She was like,
We're honored as well, and I just want to say that Savannah and I are OG fans of when you guys TBT were the Fishbowl, and
Yeah.
you had your rebrand, and we're here through all the phases of what is.
That's true.
You
True
guys
fans over
were
here.
led to a combo for us to have a combo. You're one of the pivotal pieces there. So
Oh my God, I know. I remember talking about it. I was like, you guys really need to bring Fishbowl back. It was such an important part of my life 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, and my rides home from work and all of it. So very.
I know.
happy you guys decided
Imagine.
to come back.
Imagine where you and Savannah were 5-6 years ago. Like when we did the fishbowl, our lives are completely different.
Completely different. We were young and hot, and
Yeah. I can't even remember that far. Anything before kids feels like 500 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is it instead of BC, it's BK?
Yeah, no, it is BC,
Right.
before children.
Before
I still
children, yeah,
say
BC.
that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, so I think today what we wanted to do is introduce you guys to our listeners and get a little bit of an idea of what you guys talk about and who you are as people. Obviously, your name brings a lot of questions. So one of you guys let us know, what is a scrunchy mom?
Savannah, you want to take it away?
Oh my God. It's weird because you love to talk, so I figured
I do, but I
safe on
didn't
this
want to
one.
completely hog it from you. You need to step out of your comfort zone, babe.
Sure. Okay, so a scrunchy mom in I would say millennial mom era or in TikTok mom era, I don't know, in whatever era we're living right now in motherhood, scrunchy mom has been labeled as, so basically there's a spectrum of mom where crunchy moms are the very holistic, natural, quote unquote natural mom. So they don't use modern medicine. They, that mom probably did a water birth, very natural. They call them crunchy. And then silky, and they don't do screen time. There's a lot of different things. And these are very general labels, not.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah, and they're not to be taken seriously. It's just what social media has labeled. And then there is silky mom is on the opposite end of the spectrum. They do screen time, they do medicine, they do, non-organic food, fast food, all those things. And so scrunchy mom is in the middle where you kind of do a little bit of both. So you're okay with screen time, but also, you try to eat organic and healthy or stuff like that. So we've always said that we fell in the scrunchy mom. Also, Lyla and I became moms pretty much the exact same time. So we've kind of been on this motherhood journey together. So we kind of have found that we're more on the scrunchy side. We kind of see both sides of the spectrum and we don't judge. So I also think scrunchy mom is we're good with any of it, because some crunchy moms, they're not okay with the silky and vice versa. But we're any type of mom, any type of way you want to do it, we're okay with it. So when we decided to start a podcast, we had a million names, but Scrunchy Mom just stuck with us because that's just so true to who we are. So we're Scrunchy Moms Club. And yeah, that's pretty much
Because Scrunchy Moms podcast was taken. So we have to really emphasize the club at the end.
Yeah, it's these women in Canada, whatever.
Damn, now you're researching.
No,
Yeah.
we've done
Calling
our
them
research.
out.
Yeah. No, because you would be surprised, like, especially with podcast names. I'm sure you guys, when you went through your rebrand, like, you have an idea and then, like, boom, it's already been done. And, like, you obviously
100%.
don't want to take it. So it's
Yeah.
politics, podcast politics.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the whole thing.
Let me just
we want
plug
to.
the podcast while I take a sip of
Oh,
my...
not the merch. Where's
Oh,
the
the
merch
merch
going to be
that's-
found?
Only for her, and I don't have one. So.
I made you one. It's
Jail.
Next time we record, I made you one.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
Yeah, no,
Why
my
not?
my sister-in-law gave me this for Christmas.
I love
That's
it.
so cute.
Yeah.
For those of
And-
you who are just listening, it's a mug
yes.
with Scrunchy Mom's logo on it. Very cute. Where can I buy one?
Right? I think CVS, she made it. Okay, sorry.
I love it.
So-
No, but no, I was gonna
Oh.
say too, Cammie, like when we were doing the podcast and like bringing it back and trying to find names, we discovered that obviously Fishbowl was taken by like a huge podcasting company, and so we spent so long
Bastards.
trying to figure out a name and what like sounded catchy and what would the image look like, and so it took a while.
I think like
for
a month.
sure.
Yeah.
It
It took
took
a
so
month to land
long.
on a name.
No, you like I want to like, and I've explained it on our podcast. Like, creating a podcast is a lot of work. Like, I don't want to tell anybody that it's easy because it's not. And I mean, and we're very like low on the grade of podcasts. Like, we don't get paid yet. Like, we're, you know what I mean? Like, but no, starting it and the equipment and learning the editing and all of it is wild. So don't ever think it's like easy, because it's really not.
What, on that
Okay.
note, what led you guys to want to start a podcast? What
Well,
inspired you?
So we had like, Savannah and I especially had like joked about it for so long. And then like one day,
Well, we both don't work, so that's like
right.
Yeah.
We are working. We are stay-at-home mothers. That's work.
exactly. But I think
That's
that was
work.
like a big
Yes,
reason
we have
why.
the non-conventional 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would joke about it in our mom group chat, like, because like all the like we have a mom group chat and we're just fucking hilarious. Sorry, we can curse on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We put the explicit on.
Okay. Because I'm explicit. So yeah, we're fucking hilarious. And like I'm just dying laughing every day. And I'm like it would be so, and I've always like low key wanted to start a podcast because I love talking. I love talking about myself. I love talking to people. I love listening to people. I love all of that. And I really think this was like made for me. And I wish we were like popular and big, but whatever, it's fine. We'll get there. Maybe. But also like Savannah and I were very much like, and if we're not, it's fine. Like, this is our outlet of like, we'll sit around, talk shit for an hour every week, and like get our frustrations and like we just wanted to go through like, because it's a roller coaster. It's not like rainbows and unicorns like motherhood is like apparently supposed to be, according to especially the elder generation. But yeah, so Savannah and I just like to be real, and we were like, let's do, like, one day I was just like, let's do it. And like we sat down for a business lunch, and we just like came up with our game plan. We like created an outline, and we like came up with like 50 topics on the just at that lunch, and we're like, okay, like let's just do this, and if it goes somewhere, great. If we have 5 listeners, great. Like, we just don't care. We're just happy doing it ourselves. So that's kind of how it came to be. And then we just start, because I think we were, something that Savannah and I share is that we have lots of great ideas, but we never execute. We're not like the best at execution, but like 2024 was the year of execution. So we we made it happen. And so that was what, like in June of 24. So
May. I think May. Yeah. It's been a
May.
while.
Oh, May. You're right. And then we've been going strong
Wow.
ever since. So it's been fun, and we took a little break, and I think that was good for like creative purposes. And and it's been and I think also for Savannah, and I'm sure she'll speak on this, that this was also kind of her out of her. So I'm the one that loves to talk and blab, and I'll yap all day. She's a little more on the reserve side. So I think this is kind of brought her out of her shell, and like she's been like so fun to do it with. So it's a nice balance for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
No,
Savannah?
totally. No, I agree. But also what I was saying, like, reason why I said we don't work is because, like, I think that really called us to do it too. Because as stay-at-home moms, like, yes, it is a full-time job. Like, arguably, I think it's harder than a 9 to 5 because it's not 9 to 5. It's literally 9 to 9. Um, but I feel like we, or at least I was like, when I stopped working and just became like just a parent 24/7 and had no off time, it kind of I felt like I was missing a part of me. So I just needed something just for myself. So even like she said, we have 5 followers, 10 followers, it doesn't matter as long as like it's something for ourselves that just is us and it gets us out of the house to do this. It's a commitment. It's something we're committing to doing. So that was like what sold it for me is it's like good escape and it gives me a little bit more of an identity than just being a mom. So yeah, I liked that aspect of it too. But yeah, we've been going strong. We really thought maybe like, oh, we'll just do 1 episode, 2 episodes. And how many have we done now? Like 30? I don't know.
We're at 29 next week.
Okay,
Will
yeah.
be
Say,
29.
yeah, I was listening to 28 this morning and I was like, it's almost going to come up on a year before you know it, before a year of Scrunchy Moms podcast. So that's awesome.
You guys also hit 100 followers. So what?
We're like at 140 or 50 now.
Yeah,
I know
Really?
it sounds
140?
so lame.
What?
It sounds so lame, but like, I mean, these are big milestones for a little fish in the
Dude,
pond
that's
like
awesome.
Well,
us.
tell them about our
Yeah.
listen. We have like listeners from like random parts of the
Oh my
like
God, yeah, like I
globe.
don't. You guys, like, I'm sure look at your stats and like, yeah, we had Japan, we have Brazil, we have Austria,
Wow.
we have like
Whoa.
random. I know, and some of them are like repeat.
International.
I know, like thanks to the international community.
Yeah,
But
when we first started Fishbowl, I remember Cammie and I would look at the stats and we're like, we had a listener in Canada and we had a listener over here. And it was like so cool to see that.
yeah, I know.
Like it's not just
wow,
our friends that we bribe to listen,
Yeah.
you know?
literally, yeah. No, it's like crazy. Like some of the random towns I see, and I'm like, okay, like if we're reaching there, then cool. I'm about it. So
Love it. We had some listeners write in, so just some other mom questions that came up that I thought were really good. One person said, "What is something that your child does that sets you off?"
How much time do you got?
Pick your favorite.
Well, so Gio is my oldest. He just turned 3, literally like 3 days ago.
He did.
And
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
thank you. And he's just started like talking a lot, like full sentences and all that, which is so great. But it is really true what they say. Like once they start talking, like they really don't. STFU. So sometimes some of the things he says set me off. Like I'll be telling him something and then he'll just say, "Can you stop talking? Like just stop talking to me." And so that kind of sets me off. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like I could literally be here all day. Just his attitude. They really say 3-nager and boof. Yeah, that came in hot. The attitude, the just like the audacity that these topics have. Like they just, and Gio also like my Julian is like such an angel baby. Like I'm knocking on all wood. Like he's just like, it's weird because they say that the younger one is the crazy one, but that's just not my perspective. And maybe it'll change. Like he's only like 16 months, but Gio just like, I think he's just saw how crazy his brother is and he's just like, I'm good. Like I'll stay an angel.
It's like, I'll give you a break, Mom.
Yeah, because I feel like Gio, I always say like he understood the concept of free will so fast for a toddler, you know, because a lot of times they don't realize like, oh, I can say no or I can like not listen. He figured that out really fast. So he sets me off all the time. I would say just my oldest sets me off all the time, but you know, they're kids. They're gonna kid, and it's the circle of life. The circle of life.
For sure.
Break out in the song.
And we're trying to. We always say we're trying to break generational cycles, so we don't, you know, whoop
I'm sure
them.
that's really
So
hard.
I try to do gentle parenting, even though he's literally on my last nerve. Anyway, that's all.
I think, well, even though Jonah is perfection, I will say,
Yes.
Well, I have a little bit of a different experience. My son's on the spectrum, and he's nonverbal at the moment. So it's, a very different situation. So I would say like my way of looking, well, his stims annoy me, I will say. Like, there are some, like, he does his all the time, and I literally, like, today I was ready to like ram my head against the wall. But there's like other things where, like, the thing is, he's like so incredibly smart and knows exactly what you're saying and what it means and all of that, and he just like gives like a side eye, like he knows, like, hey, come here, let's go take a bath, and that like side eye, and you're like, you know what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you know exactly what I'm saying, get like, and every night it's like, oh my God, this new revelation, I have to go take a bath. Every night you take a bath, mofo, okay? You
The
know
resistance. The resistance.
This is not new information. Like, and so it's just like funny that like every night it's like, what? I have to take a bath? I have to do that?
Mhm.
So those little things where it's like he knows that he's pushing my buttons with like the not listening. So I would say that's my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe one day the questioning will work, though. Maybe it'll be like, no, you don't today. You gotta
Right.
hope.
I know.
The negotiation.
Yeah. Also,
My God.
speaking as a second-born, I can attest to the first one being crazier than the second.
There you go. Yeah, because
I'm-
you're very chill, so that makes me
I'm
feel good.
much chillier than my brother.
My older sister is also insane compared to me, so I get it. Yeah. No.
And that's questionable because
I don't know what you're talking.
you're pretty
Today
crazy.
you just got called out.
I don't know if Amelia would agree with that, but okay.
We're both delusional. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe you just got too crazy.
Well, you have your sister on this week's episode of your pod, right?
Yeah.
So give them a listen, guys, and let's see who's the crazier one.
I think we
Check
were
that
very
episode
tame though.
out.
Like when we're like in a professional environment, we're very like, okay, like this is, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
behind scenes, like we're like,
Yeah. They won't know the truth.
no. they won't. But
What
yeah.
is something you guys said you would never do before having the kiddos?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Yes. What?
There's so much, but I
so
just
much.
like there's just like looking at my house right now. I have a tent right here. I have a trampoline right there. I have a bookshelf with there's puzzle pieces all over my floor. I always said that I would like, I'm never going to bring the kids' toys out in my living room, and I'm going to have neutral colors in my living room, and I'm never going to have bitch. Your house turns into their house.
It's gonna look like a house. It's not gonna look like a kid's house.
No, this is I have a kitchen. I got
Mhm.
like it's just, it is what it is. And yeah, if you're really thinking that you're gonna keep your aesthetic, you're not. Don't kid yourself. And it's okay, just lean in. And like whenever anybody comes over, I'm just like, I have a house that's lived in. I'm so sorry. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't not. So that I would say is like the biggest one, like just me looking at my house, right? Yeah, I have a Target shopping cart right here. Like, yeah, you really can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have like a playroom that's designated and it just vomited
don't-
everywhere? Like it
That's
just
the thing. Like, no, my living room is my playroom. I don't really have like a good spot that would, not in this house. Maybe once we get another house.
Not even. I feel like kids have a way of saying, "Oh yeah, that's your playroom." Yeah. Like playroom. Like I'm gonna play where it's always
Everywhere's
never
my
in the
playroom.
designated spot. Yeah.
No,
So there
there's
could
not,
probably be
no.
a playroom. Guess what? Everywhere is a playroom.
Or even like my full-length mirror was in my bedroom, but guess what? It's not my full-length mirror anymore. It's now become part of the aesthetic out here because my son loves the full-length mirror and like loves looking at himself doing things. So yeah, no, that's not even mine anymore either. So it'd be like that. Yeah. How about you, Savannah?
I would say the aesthetic thing for sure. I also thought that my house was good. Can you guys seen my house? It's like yellow with the silver and the glass. Yeah, no, that went away real quick. But I would also say screen time. Honestly, I really was one of those naive women that was just like, I don't need screen time. Like my kids.
The restaurants, like doing it at restaurants.
Oh well, yeah.
I always said I would never
especially
be that person.
Yeah, I will never judge a mom or a parent who like gives their kid screen time at a restaurant because I've been there and I understand.
It's definitely like a last resort for me. Like I will exhaust all other options before like I have to do that. But if you got to, you got to. Like actually, Sam and I just went. I really wanted Domu, the ramen place, and like we had to take Jonah. We had nobody to watch him, and it was fine. And usually he's like pretty decent, and we took him, and it was just like he was, I don't know, he was in kind of a crazy mood. So we just turned it on, and we actually were able to enjoy our dinner. And the people next to us had no screens, and they were screaming at their kids the whole time. So I don't know, like is it controversial? Absolutely. But did I have a nice dinner with my husband? I did.
Yeah, who cares? Who is anybody to judge?
And my son hadn't had screen time the whole day that day. It was like the first time he had seen a screen all day. So it's like, that's what justified it to myself. And I'm sure people are judging, but I do not care anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, I definitely do it in moderation, but it's necessary. Plus, there's a lot of screen time out there that is educational. And I swear, I could go all day about Miss Rachel, but I won't. But yeah, and then I would say the other thing that I always thought before I was a parent that I would be like, I wouldn't be a mom whose like life revolves around my kids or like their nap time or their schedules. Like life would still go on and like they just have to adapt. No, wrong.
Did not work out for you.
No, my life revolves around my kids. And to each their own. Some people don't. And I thought, like I said, I thought I was going to be that parent, but like, no, my life revolves around my kids, especially in like that first year when their sleep schedule is like really important. But like, if you're inviting me to something and like it's after 8:00, sorry, I will not be there. If you're inviting me somewhere that's during nap time, I will not be there. Like I very much revolve my world around my kids. And I did not think I was going to be like that. I really thought like, oh, I'm going to be so flexible and like the kids are just going to be so flexible and like, no. And I'm okay with it. But yeah, I was really wrong about that one.
I think what maybe some people don't realize is that it's not even just the mere fact that your life revolves around your kids because of the kids and like it's a new change in your life, but also it's for your own peace of mind. If the kids don't sleep, you don't sleep. If you know, exactly. So there's also wellness. There's also reasons that revolve around wellness for you as the parent and for the kiddo that these decisions need to be made. So fuck anybody who has to judge because they don't have to stay up with your kiddos when their schedules are thrown off and they don't have to deal with
people like
everything else.
Don't have kids or don't have like friends that have kids because those are the people that are like, oh, past 8:00, just bring them. Like
I was just about to say that because now my entire family knows that if we go out to dinner and Jonah is involved, it has to be at 5:00. Sorry, we're senior citizens. It is what it is. 5:00 is dinner because if I go like 5:30 is pushing it. But then if we go any later than that, he is going to be a hot mess. So now my family knows like
and no one's going to have fun. That's the thing. No one's going to have fun.
Like, right. So it's like you got to make and it's hard. Yeah, they'll just come at 9:30 with your kid. Why not? No, that's not how this works. So,
Cammie, one thing that I thought about for you too is like what do you think before kids, because we're before kids at this point, so what's something that you think you want to implement once you have kiddos, or how do you think your life's going to change?
Ooh.
I think my life will probably change a lot. I don't know about implementing. I play video games every night now with my friends.
My husband.
Yeah, from like I would say like 10 to 12 is like my typical 10:30 to 12, so I'm sure that'll probably shift. If anything, maybe I'll be up at like 3 a.m. with the baby throwing some games on there. The screen time thing, I never judged a parent that had their screen out because kids be cray. I think working at a school, I'm a little bit, you guys all work with kids too, or you worked with kids, so you have that experience, you know what they're like and stuff like that. So I know I've heard Miss Rachel. Apparently there's a Spanish version of Miss Rachel too. I don't remember.
Oh, there's a Jewish version. I think everybody's come out with their
everyone's trying to be versions. Her. And I understand.
It's hilarious, yeah.
But yeah, just I don't know. We're getting ready to start that process
Ooh, that's
next month.
exciting.
So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, next month. Wow.
yeah, we're gonna try our first IUI treatment. Which, fun fact, just found out Jess's insurance changed to cover like IUI.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God, that's incredible.
yes,
Ugh,
gotta love the school systems up here, y'all.
Oh
PA
my
knows how to
God.
do
amazing.
it.
Oh my God,
So
that's so exciting, Cammy.
yeah, thanks guys, thanks.
Well, we're
But yeah,
sending good vibes your way.
thank you. Baby dust is what I hear it's called. We
Baby
send all
dust.
the
Yeah.
baby dust. Moni, what about you though? I know you're
Oh
not.
yeah. Who knows? I mean, life, everything will change, but I have all these crazy queens in my life who are moms, so I just like sit in the background and I'm like, I wonder what's gonna like be my story. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I definitely think you'll have another scrunchy mom added to your team
Yeah.
because, you know, I you don't know what kind of kiddo you're gonna have, and so you have to just
Mhm.
roll with the punches and take what you can get. And yeah, I mean that's why if every time I see somebody who has like a body change or like I see judgment happening when it comes to like a child and a mother or father or family, like at any situation, I just like it boils my blood to see somebody else like judge parents and get irritated with a hard situation because it's just that's not you're not in their shoes. And I can imagine all the eyes, and us working with families like all of us have, you hear all those horror stories about how terrible they felt this one time when they were at the airport and their child was on the floor and everybody was just like, just do this or just do that or making comments. So you know I think my mind is open to try to be prepared for anything that comes and just not try and plan too much because plans go out the fucking door. So
They
Yeah.
sure do.
I think you'll have like the newborn sleep down though, because I feel like you thrive off little sleep. Like you don't need like the 10 hours. So
that's
like
the
in,
one thing I'm really worried about though,
mm,
because you're right. Like I don't sleep a lot, but also, yeah, when I'm hangry or I wonder if like my lack of sleep is gonna be a big problem. So we'll figure that out.
It
I'm
will.
curious to see that too. I also don't sleep. It'll be interesting to see how we wind up there if we turn into those 10-hour people or 8-hour people.
We'll see.
Well, I always have been, and it was a nightmare when I wasn't sleeping. So
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah, you like Lila needs her nappies
I
because if
need my sleep.
not, oh
I
yeah.
love sleep. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that first year was really hard, but I was also really regimented on getting a good schedule. So,
mhm.
Yeah.
and that's why, like, yeah, that first year you got to sacrifice. Like, if you really want your kid to be on a really good schedule, you have to be on that schedule with them. And
Mhm.
if people are along for the ride, they are. And if they're not, then bye.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Literally.
Yeah. This kind of brings up another question that we had come up, which is like, how do you guys overcome mom guilt? Because that's very real and it's very prominent in a lot of lives, right? So how do you guys overcome that feeling?
I mean, we
Cry.
still, yeah, we
Hmm.
we don't. Yeah, I mean, you still have it all the time. I think we always say on the podcast, like we just try to give ourselves grace and try to
Hmm.
put things in perspective as much as possible. We always think back to like our parents' generation, like we turned out just fine and they didn't have all of this gentle parenting, all these rules about different bottles and temperatures and sterilization and you need to feed them every 2.5 hours and all like there were not all those rules and we survived. So I try to put things in perspective. Like it can be really hard, especially now. I think being a parent in this generation, there's social media, which is a whole other aspect of like comparison.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just feel like you just have to give yourself grace and like shut it down if it's getting too much. Like get off of the internet, get off of comparison. It's cheesy, is a thief of joy. It really is, though. It's gonna make you feel guilty. But like I said, I practice what I preach. I still struggle with it on the daily basis, but
I know. And I also like, cause, I call it like my days where I feel like a sack of potatoes, where it's just
mhm,
like, okay, like I'm tired. I'm like, I don't feel like, doing, because with these kids, all it is about you really are like living to tire them out. That's like literally like, so what activities are we doing? What, like, you know, like you are just like their source of fun and entertainment. So man, it's hard. So like if you want, if like the days where like I'm a sack of potatoes and I'm just like, you know, like I need time, like, and I just have to turn on the screen to like keep, you know, the peace. Like I do feel a sense of guilt, but then I think like maybe we all need this. Maybe it's like, you know, like kids, yes, they need to be entertained constantly, whatever, but like it's also okay for these kids to be freaking bored. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like they need to bring back bored.
Right.
Like literally. So
Yeah.
so there's that, like I would say, and like, because yeah, I do have those days where I'm like, wow, like I'm not doing anything with him, but then I have to like bring myself back. It's like, it's okay, like you need like sack of potato days sometimes and like lazy days, because we're all human beings and we can't be on 24/7. No, I'm not making a sensory box out of like angel dust and like these women on freaking Pinterest and social media, you know.
Yeah.
But no, but you're absolutely right with that, Savannah, because it does like make me feel like crap some days where I'm like, oh, I didn't do that, and here, and I don't think it's something that ever truly goes away, because I'm sure like the older they get, like when they're I can't imagine like when they're teenagers, like what kind of guilt we're going to be having. Say, no, you can't go to the mall with your friends. Like, how am I going to feel like really about that? You know, like,
Yeah.
so I think it just like your guilt like evolves, I guess, like as your children get older.
Yeah, I also
And
feel like our kids are 3 and under, so that's another thing that helps me feel better is that they're not going to remember this. Like,
my sister
you
really
know.
put that in perspective for us in her first
Yeah.
episode she was on with us. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they haven't formed long-term memories yet. Like, it's okay. We're not going to mess them up if we accidentally give them 5 minutes of Blippi or whatever it is. Like, they'll be just fine.
Remember her mentioning that, like, let's say they have a something that you missed, or, you know, they're not going to remember it. It's you who remembers it. So trying to let that go and not carry that burden with you about, you know, if you needed to do one thing over the other, if you needed a break or whatever it was. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess to like answer the question, like it like doesn't really go away, but you have good days and bad days, and just embrace those good days and bad days, because like that's all just part of the human experience. Like you're supposed to like, life's supposed to be like this, up and down and feeling feelings and then letting them pass. So okay, you feel it, let it pass, and like tomorrow's a brand new day. So just that's kind of my advice, if you will.
Yeah, I think a really good piece to take away from what you both just said is that, because of everything is so open, out in the open when it comes to social media, and the comparison is very real, that like I think acknowledging that is a big help. Just simply, like, the first thing to do is acknowledge, you know, 10 years ago mothers didn't have all this comparison. They didn't get the lens into other lives, and so you didn't maybe have this kind of level of this magnitude of comparison that we did before. But if you acknowledge that and know that, like, not everything you see is real life too, and there's so many different stories, that maybe you can let go a little of the burden of the guilt that you feel, and just embracing what your personal, like, relationship and your routines and like the things that you do is just special to you, and trying not to feel bad about that.
Right. Like I
So,
had it especially with like, I remember the first year with like food. Like I was like so crazy about making like the homemade purees and all of, like I have to
mhm.
like, make my hand cut strawberry. I don't know, like I was so like crazy about it, because on social media you see all of these moms making like all of these amazing meals, and like, and you know me, I'm no cook, and but like I'm a baby chef, I do my best, but like then like I got to a point where it's like, no, like I'm gonna go like with my ability, and like yeah, some days I'm gonna make a nice home cooked pancake, but then maybe a day that I feel like putting an Eggo in the toaster oven, so be it. Like like he will be okay if my homemade banana wheat pancakes aren't on the menu every day, and he gets a damn Eggo. So like
Yeah.
that, like that's the kind of thing you have to like, you know, just let go.
For sure. For
A lot
sure.
of motherhood is just letting go
hmm
of the control.
Yeah.
I think boredom too, like you said, it's important to feel. You know, boredom I think breeds creativity. So It's like where you can come up with problem. If you're bored, you problem solve. How do I like let your kid be a little more self-sufficient? How do they entertain themselves?
Yeah,
you
like
know?
we don't have to be their source of entertainment 24/7. But I still have days like that where I'm like, okay, no, I'm okay. He can have a half an hour of like playing with his puzzles by himself, and I don't have to be like all up in his face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cool. We're gonna do a this and that segment in a second, but our last question for you guys is: do the Scrunchy Moms have any book or like show recommendations that are feel good for you right now that you want to recommend to our listeners?
So
like just like
no-
regular shows
yeah,
or
like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me or
yeah.
for
For
my
you guys.
kid.
No, for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go first because I just finished Shrinking. You guys,
Mhm.
Oh, very
oh
good.
my god, it's so good.
It's
It's like
good.
very you all have seen it?
Just not the newest season, but I
Oh,
watched the
okay.
first
No,
season.
it's so good. I just finished it, and I don't really know what to do with myself now because it was just, I hadn't seen I didn't know about the show until recently, and then it's very like it's it's feel good, but it has some depth, but
Mhm.
like not too much depth. Like it's actually like a
Yeah,
really
it's
nice.
not because it's a comedy, but it also has like the storyline has like this, like you said, like a depth to it, and it's like
Yeah.
a real story. But it's also has these lighthearted moments where it's funny, and
And
yeah,
it's like
I love
about
it.
parenthood and stuff too. So like, I
Mhm.
mean, a teenage daughter. Whew.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we've all been those. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's like one I would say that I just finished that I loved.
Ooh, Vanna.
I mean, Lila and I have like opposite taste when it comes to like I like the death and crime and gore and
Same.
craziness and like
Yeah.
the nerdy stuff too. Like everything she hates, I like. So like we just finished season 2 of Squid Game. Like that's like where we're at. We like that sort of craziness.
Mhm.
But feel good. I've been starting to like rewatch. I needed like a really good, just feel good, no drama show. So I'm doing the rewatch of New Girl, and I forgot how
Oh,
much
good.
I love
Love
that
New
show.
Girl.
It's so good. Like I've
So
rewatched
good.
Friends so many times. I've rewatched How I Met Your Mother so many times. I need like a new one to rewatch, and that journey's been going well.
Oh, you know what I just rewatched was Broad City, and it's so
Mm.
funny.
Haven't seen that.
No? Oh my god, it's
Mm-mm.
so good.
Broad City's pretty
Okay.
funny.
Yeah.
Love New Girl, and I feel like I need to rewatch New Girl.
It's so funny, and it's
I
like I
never
said,
got into it.
lighthearted. Oh, you need to give it another chance. It's so funny.
I've
I
given it like
really
3 chances, but I guess I'll give it a fourth.
really.
I'm the
No,
same. I'm the same. I think I watched the first like 2, 3 seasons and I was into it, and then I just fell off and I
Yeah,
never
I
well,
really
went
that's
back.
tried. I really
that's sort
tried.
of what's happening. Like I'm in like the 3rd season, and I'm just like, I think the first couple were just so good. That's what happens with these shows, and then
They fall off.
yeah, but yeah, I'm really into like all of that. Like I've watched all the Walking Dead. I've watched all the Game of Thrones spinoffs. I've watched like I'm a big nerd too, but
Mhm.
yeah, I've watched all of that. Star Wars. I've watched all the Star Wars spinoffs, but there's nothing currently on right now. In that.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't watched the new Star Wars, like the Goonie sort of like kid one. Have you watched it?
Oh,
Bad
yeah,
Batch.
yeah. No, not
Yeah,
Bad Batch.
no.
It's oh my God, what's it
Skeleton
called?
Crew.
The Skeleton
Skeleton
Crew.
Crew.
Mhm.
I
It's
haven't watched
cute.
that one.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Lila's like, ew, Star Wars.
Can't relate.
No, she literally hates like she does
I
not.
know.
I
She
mean,
doesn't
like,
mess with that.
happy for you all, but couldn't be me.
Oh, and we're currently watching the Dexter like prequel. That's new.
Oh, okay.
That one's good. It's good. Yeah.
Lai, have you ever watched Dexter?
I watched the first episode like
Mhm.
years ago, and I was not a fan.
Of course
Um,
not.
Yeah, I try because I'm not like a totally against like I like murder documentaries. I like watching that stuff, but like actual gore, like I'm the one
Mhm.
covering my eyes. I'm such a baby, but
Mhm.
There's a lot of that in that show.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. He's literally like a blood splatter analyst. So
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna soon start rewatching Schitt's Creek because I do that every year.
Oh,
So
the best.
that's
You know what? Maybe
Yeah.
that will be my next review. I've watched that at least 2 or 3 times. That's so good.
I actually
Oh
never
my
watched
God.
that show.
Oh
Also,
my
another one
God.
I have like I call them my sleepy time shows, like
Mhm.
where they're my comfort shows. I fall asleep to them. I know I'm like a doctor's worst nightmare, but I do fall asleep to the TV. I'm rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's so good too.
Oh, that one's so
Yeah.
funny.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. So yeah, I could go on about shows all day, but yeah.
I feel like I have to watch Schitt's Creek now because all three.
You
of
have
them are
So
to.
good.
It's so good.
Cammy,
It's
it
also
is so
like-
Cammy core. Like you would
It's such a
love that
good
show.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's
Cammy, you
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
No,
Oh my
never.
God. Yes, you have to. You have to.
No, you're gonna love it. It's hilarious and yeah, it's amazing.
I'll try it out and I'll circle back and check in.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
Cammy, take away our this and that.
Yeah. Before we do this and that, I have like two questions.
Okay.
First one, being someone that is about to delve into the journey of like trying to have a kid, is there any like prep stuff you think, like research? Because you know there's all those books about how to be a parent or whatever. Is there anything that you guys did that you were like, I'm glad I did that before I had this child, that I should dive into?
Honestly, there's no preparing you can do. Like nothing. No book you can read that will prepare you.
Wait. I think she says no.
In the best way.
No, there is something that you guys are leaving out. I think if anything, it's just like certain conversations.
Yes,
with your
I was going to get to
partner.
that. Yeah. No, but did I
No.
do research? Absolutely not. I
Yeah.
did like a because we had our babies in like the height of COVID, or like kind of like the second wave, like Omicron and all that in 2021. But I did like an online Lamaze class where like you learn about the process of labor and all of that. I literally watched it the day I got induced. So I didn't really remember anything. So I would say like that there were a couple things that I did take away from it, but like I mean, I would say like, yeah, you want to like I like the apps, like, you know, the apps of like once you are pregnant, like getting like the my baby's the size of a lemon, like that shit. Like I do like it because there are like informative things in there, but they also like live to scare you too. So just like, you know, it's a little touch and go. But yeah, no, you're right. There are conversations that like my husband and I definitely had, and you can have them, and sometimes they go great, and sometimes once the baby's here it's completely different. But yeah, just being very like on the same page with like your intentions and like what you like your life looks like with this baby, and also just like how something that just jarred me when we became parents was just like how really different your life is. Like it and obviously I knew like on the surface level that things would change, but no, you literally, we say it on our podcast all the time, you birth a different human that day. Not just like the human that you're birthing, but it's also like you and your partner are now completely different people, and navigating that new dynamic is going to be bumpy. And don't think that it's going to be like unicorns and rainbows, but if you're strong enough and if you communicate, you will get through it. It's just, don't expect it to be so amazing at first, because you are now adapting to the brand new versions of yourself plus a tiny human that you both are learning. So if that makes sense.
It does.
Sorry to scare the shit out of you.
You're good. I actually like I was gonna ask.
We're very raw and real, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm never gonna sugarcoat anything for you. So
that's cool. That's how we are. So we're good. I did have I was gonna ask, but I didn't want to delve into like touchy territory, because when
we love touchy territory.
When we're in like psych classes, and you look at the happiness scale of a couple, right? It dives once you have a kid. So I wanted to ask you guys how accurate that is.
The stats of divorce, like once you have a kid, I think like, yeah, it's very high.
No, but honestly, I get it. Like I understand.
So you feel like that's accurate?
It is absolutely accurate. It was funny though, at least for me, it was, and I was working throughout the first year. I felt like the first 3 months were like, oh my God, like we've really got this down. Look at us go. And then I went back to work and everything went to shit. Like it was like, because then that dynamic shifted too. Because when we were both off together doing the thing, we like kind of created a routine and we were able to, you know, to do it. And then, yeah, once I went back to work, it became a giant shit show again.
And that's also when usually the first sleep regression starts. And like, that's the
Mhm.
thing, as right when you think you've conquered something, like something new happens and like some new development, some new, yeah, no, I 100%. I think you have to fight for your marriage literally every single day when you have kids. Like, it's hard. My husband and I started saying this thing, like when, right before we leave the house with the kids, or, you know, if we're about to do a big outing, like we fist bump and we're like, same team, right? Same team. Because it can be really hard when, especially we talk about like with women, like our hormones and like the postpartum rage, and like you just, it's just not helpful. So we kind of have to restrain it, because we have very similar husbands where, you know, they're very chill, very monotone. So it's like we might have really good things to say and we might be right, but how we react and overreact, now we're wrong because of how we spoke to them, and like, you know, it's not helpful and not productive, and I get that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think really every day you have to fight for your marriage. I also would say, and I think we said this in the marriage podcast, like thinking back now, you know, at when we would fight before kids, I'm like, what were we fighting about?
Oh my God.
So I
Yeah.
would say that, like, if you're having, not you specifically, but like anyone's listening, like if you're having a lot of fights with your significant other, like, and you don't have kids, like maybe think about that, because when kids happen, like it's,
Well, because
yeah.
the other thing, like, and I've mentioned this as well on our pod, is like you're taking one human being who's had a childhood and they were raised by different people, and then another person who has their own childhood, their trauma, their, you know what I mean? Then you're combining and you've made a human who you're gonna give the trauma, the like no matter what you do, you're still gonna give your child some trauma. But you know what I mean? So you're taking these two completely different people, even though yes, you love each other and obviously like you guys are similar, but you know what I mean? Like you guys grew up completely different, and then now you're going to raise this child. So there are going to be disagreements, and there are going to be, and you could have like all the conversations in the world beforehand, but then obviously when it's happening is like, so I just like, because Savannah and I both have this difficulty within our communication is actually communicating exactly how we feel. Because I'm just kind of like, I'll mask it. I'll be like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And then I blow up. And that's not what you're supposed to do. So like I would just say like say how you feel when you feel it, because like it's there's no time to blow up like this and then be in a whole thing.
Yeah. Yep.
But then it's beautiful because then you see like your partner become a parent. Like that is like, I know, I just want to like sprinkle a little positivity. Seeing your seeing your partner become a parent is like the sexiest, coolest thing in the world. So I will say like that is like a
yeah, it
positive
like
to it.
opens up like a new deeper love, but at the same time like a new deeper hate. Just kidding.
I'm dead.
like when you see your husband sleeping on the couch when like you didn't sleep all night because of the baby, you know, like that kind of like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But no, there
Love you,
is like
Taylor.
No, we
yeah,
always
no,
talk
there
about
is
these husbands having the audacity to take naps in front of us, like, or no, for Sam it's sleeping until like 12 p.m.
Oh my God, the sleeping
yeah.
in.
Yeah. No, so I would say like that's the nice part is like yeah, like you really and if you do make it, especially through that first year, then you've done it. And yeah, like you're going to like there's other obstacles outside of the first year, but I would say the first year is like the most rapid development, especially of the child. So,
The most big changes, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's a big change. And I think that that's just something I like want to communicate more to like new parents is that like your marriage is going to change, but just embrace it.
Yeah. And another thing we always say on the podcast and to each other is like every stage of parenthood, every stage, it's temporary, even though it can feel so permanent in the moment, like during a sleep regression, during like a phase of where you and your husband are at each other's, you know, wits end and all this stuff. Everything is temporary. And we always say that to each other in the group chat. Like when one of us is dealing through this, like it might feel so permanent, like there's no way out, but just there's a way. It's all temporary. Like it's just a phase and it will pass and always does. But it's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're
In the thick of it.
literally in the trenches, which the first year you are in the trenches.
Yeah.
That's great perspective. I would feel like I would be your husband's in this situation, so it's good to know. Don't sleep in and limit the naps.
Right. Yes.
I'm just gonna ask you guys what pisses you off the most
Yeah.
right now, so that I know what not to do.
Yes. Oh, and actually, your other question about like to prepare, I do think that there's no book you can read or whatever. But if she's planning on breastfeeding, I would try to like look into that because I mean, just maybe research some. You could take a class or look at some videos or research because that whole thing like is supposed to come so natural. Like that shit is
It
not.
doesn't.
It's really hard and it's really crazy. So like maybe have her look into like those sort of things and those different avenues, the pumping, the all of that, because I feel like as a first time mom, when I got thrown into that, I was like, what the hell is this?
I was
Like,
very ill prepared.
nobody, and I would say the postpartum journey in general, like no, everyone talks about pregnancy, but like postpartum, it's like the
Yeah.
breastfeeding, her recovery, like everything like that. Definitely, I wish I had researched that more of like what that all entailed, like my body, how my body was literally completely different and healing and hurting. And yeah, so that I would definitely maybe look into just so she's prepared because that shit's crazy.
Yeah, I hear a lot of the postpartums like a lot of people are focusing more on it now. I think that's good.
Thank
So
goodness,
postpartum
because
depression and stuff like that.
I was so ill prepared for it. I gave up breastfeeding after 3 weeks. I couldn't do it. Like it was too much. And props to anybody that well, mine was like a supply thing. It just like wasn't supply. But like even like the decision to end it was like so catastrophic in the moment. You
The
remember
mom
Savannah, I
guilt.
literally
The mom guilt. Yeah.
the mom guilt of like, oh my God, I'm not feeding my baby out of my own titty. Like it was so devastating to me in that moment. But now I'm like, girl, I'm so glad I did that because I would have like, I was going down like a mental crazy hole about it and fed is best, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Before we jump into this or that, which is going to be like instant reacts, no
We've really been teasing
explanations.
this or that.
Yes, but before we do that, I want to know one hot take you have as a parent. Like, what's one hot take that you're just
God.
like,
Oh God.
give me a
I feel like
controversial
all
hot
we
take.
have are hot takes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I did say bring back boredom, but what else?
I mean, that was a hot take. Like screen times at the dinner table are not always bad. Like sometimes it
I think that'd
happens.
No, but we need to come up with a new one.
Yeah.
be-
Um,
Screen time was a good one. I feel like that's a big hot take. I think people are a lot more accepting of it now, though, especially with all the
Ish. You'd be surprised.
educational. Still get that judgmental eye.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, this is like I know, I feel like we like all we do is like talk about hot takes and then didn't we have a whole episode about it was baby product hot takes. It wasn't like
Yeah,
Baby product ones.
Yeah. We can do this or that if you want first, and then you can.
Okay,
yeah,
That's
maybe
how
a
we'll
hot
end
take
it.
will come up or something.
Yeah, it might. All right, this or that. No explanations, an instinct, no middle ground. You just got to tell me which
Savannah's
one to choose.
not good. Savannah's not good at that.
Oh, you just got to pick one.
Just pick one. There's
like,
no.
What
It's a
happens
mix.
if?
Nope.
No, I need like a full setup. Okay,
No, I'm excited for this. Okay.
All
Are
right.
we like speaking at the same time or?
We could take turns if you want,
Okay.
or you can just. What do you think,
Savannah
Lonnie?
first. Savannah first, and then Lyla.
Okay. All right. Ready? Strict schedule or go with the flow?
Strict schedule. We can both say that. Oh, bitch, come on. You know your
strict schedule, but okay. No, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say it.
Like, do I wish I was go with the flow? Yeah, but that's not who I am.
Gentle parenting or tough love?
Ugh, that's hard. I mean, I kind of do both, though.
We're not good at this.
Your preference. Your
I guess
go-to.
gentle parent.
Gentle parenting because we're trying to break the generational cycle.
See, like this is how scrunchy we are. We're so in the middle with all of these, But continue.
Coffee or wine?
Coffee. Yeah, she's gonna have trouble.
That's hard, babe. That's hard.
Like I have to have coffee once a day. I don't have to have alcohol once a
Speak for
day.
yourself. No,
You're the
Um,
alcoholic.
no. I would say, yeah, I guess coffee, because you're right on that.
Her answer is espresso martini, but it's okay.
Hey,
There you go. Little combo. Family road trip or flying?
Flying. We're not
Elsa,
we're not car
unison.
people.
fuck a road
Alright.
trip. I hate road trips.
Sports team or music lessons?
Ooh, for the kids?
Yeah.
That's
You're
tough.
gonna have Mozart or Messi?
I want to try them in both, but I guess I would go with sports.
Well, with my child, I would do music. Yeah, I think it depends on
Alright.
your child, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
School lunch or packaged?
Package. Like, I would pack it.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll be a packaged mom. Because those school lunches are nasty. Like
Screen time limit or unlimited screen time?
limit.
Screen time limit, yeah.
Mhm.
Sleep in or wake up early for alone time?
Sleep in. Oh
Sleep
my
in.
God. That is my biggest thing on social media when people are like, pro tip, wake up at 5 a.m. so you have unlimited me time to like read my journal and read the Bible and go do my yoga meditation. What? Who's doing that?
Sleep over everything.
All right.
That's insane to me. No.
I mean, like, good for you if you do it, and like, could
Maybe it's
never be
because
me.
we do that like at night. Like we stay up late for our alone time. I mean, I'm not working out and reading the Bible, but I'm like laying. I'm like
No, she's watching Walking Dead
Doom
and
scrolling.
like serial killers.
yeah, watching
Documentary.
murder and serial killers. But yeah, we're both like sleep people. We love our sleep.
All right.
I'm still laughing about you reading the Bible.
Have you not seen those like Instagram reels?
Yes, I have.
It's like
why
I wake up at an hour early to read the Bible with my husband. Like, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Like,
That's a hot take, I guess.
There you go.
Like, I'm sorry, Jesus will forgive you. Go to sleep.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
Okay. All right. Girls' night out or solo time?
Girls' night out.
Girls' night out, yeah, for sure.
Meal prep or winging it?
Winging it.
Winging it. Well, we don't cook, so.
Public or homeschool?
Ooh.
Private. That's. I mean, I'm doing private, but
I think we're gonna do like public school. I don't know. I mean, I'm basically doing homeschool. Like, I just can't imagine doing that. Yeah, that's tough. So I would say public or private,
All right.
but yeah, not homeschool.
Last one. DIY party planning or going to have a party somewhere else, like a trampoline place or.
going to have a party somewhere.
Yeah, we talked about this. Like
we had a whole episode on this.
For our kid's first birthday, we both did a party at our house and we deep cleaned and like had everybody over 50 people. And we both said like simultaneously, we will never do that again.
It was the worst day of my life. But
I think that would be a hot take for you guys. Is like
that is our hot take.
Party does not need to be this huge thing because that's something you guys talked about in the pod.
No, 100%. That's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess another hot take is like gender reveals. That's also like
yes.
Yeah, like I don't believe in like burning my house down to find out the gender of my baby, but or having an airplane fly with like like, oh my God, like I actually like something I do enjoy watching is the ridiculous gender reveal videos.
They're
hilarious. Just like making fun of them. Like it's insane what these people do.
I feel like I'm such a personal, private person that I just like I don't want everyone to see my reaction because what if I don't have a good reaction? Like I'm entitled to like how I feel. So both times I found out with my husband alone. Like I just maybe having like a reveal for the family after, but like these big parties are just like no, that's like a personal thing. I don't know.
Or if you want to do like a little like private situation, just your you know what I mean, like but having like a
no
we are hot takes about are the big parties just spending all this money like for what.
I saw one literally like because it's like rich people gender reveals, and I saw one literally was like it's either a blue G-Wagon or a pink G-Wagon.
Not the G
Like, I
wagons.
die. It's so funny, like what these people do to find out a fucking gender of your baby. Like, it's not that serious.
Imagine
great,
having
yeah.
that kind of money. That's hilarious.
I mean, like, if that happened to me, would I object? No, but
I would attend the party. That's what we said about the first birthday. It's like, don't like not invite us to the first birthday. Like, we want to come. We want to see the $3,000 balloon arch and the, you know, cotton candy cart and all that. But like, I just won't be doing it myself.
Well, my
But-
child's going to Disney until further notice for his birthdays until he has something to say about it. So
Love that.
It's a solid birthday, honestly. Disney.
it is. Yeah.
Well, that's it for my this or that. Did it live up to the expectation? Is the question.
The this or that. I mean, like, some of it was a little like we had a couple objections, but it is flexing that muscle of like, we have to literally pick this or that, right, Savannah?
yeah, but we did pretty good. But yeah,
You were
like,
decisive. It was good.
Well, I did like a would you rather. I've done a couple of would you rathers for episodes. And
Similar.
Savannah's always like, okay, but
Oh
then
my
is this
God,
or that or
yeah.
that? And I'm like,
yeah.
just answer the question.
But in this situation, it would be this, and in that situation, it would be that.
yeah, I'm not black and white at all. Like, I'm.
You
I'm
did a great
very-
job
okay.
here.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We love
Yeah,
you.
thanks for
This is super
thanks for
fun.
being
we
here
loved it. No, this
and
was
scaring
so fun.
me about being a parent. I really appreciate
I
it.
hope we didn't
No,
scare
the-
you.
No,
Just
the
kidding.
silent pauses with like contemplating her life.
No, she did. I did. Like, I think we
Like,
did
is my
discuss
marriage
it.
over before it really started?
Well, I
It's
also
okay.
I got married and then we got pregnant literally right after. So you're kind of on the same path as me. So I get it. But also, you guys have been together a really long time, right?
Yeah, it's been 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, Sam and I were like 6 or 7 years when we got pregnant. So like, you have such a strong foundation. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think
Like-
one thing, I mean, that came up that I didn't mention, but I'll mention now is that, and knowing both of you so well, I think it would be helpful to just ask Jess what is she nervous about? Like, where are the areas where she needs the most support, whether it's from you or from her own mommy friends, or, you know, what are the things that she's worried about? And so if you guys tackle that, at least just talk about it, maybe it's something that won't be a surprise later, you know?
Or she can start listening to our episodes and we get really
That's-
real and deep about it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
I told
we
her.
have a pregnancy episode. We have like must have baby items episode, postpartum episode. Like, yeah.
And then we have like really cool things coming up. I'm not going to say it, but you know, we have things
Ooh.
coming up. So like, she should stay
Ooh.
tuned. That's all I'm
Yeah.
going to say about that.
Yeah, I
Keep
told
it-
her we were having you guys on, so we were scrolling through your episodes, and she was like, "I gotta listen to these." So
Yeah.
Mhm.
she'll be listening. She'll be a
And
subscriber.
we're not sugar coaters. So that's what I'm saying. And that's why like, we're a very niche podcast, I think, in that regard, because we are not just going to be like, everything's fine. Like, no, sometimes it's not, like, and like, that's okay. But
Yeah.
just like, feel the feelings.
Well, and
Yeah.
another hot take we had, like, we both hated being pregnant. Like, I love
yeah.
that my body can carry children, but like being pregnant, we were not one of those women that were just like, it's butterflies and rainbows and like, look what my body can do. Like, no, I hated every second of both times, but I did it, and I had no regrets. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of it, is that you guys doing this and talking about it and being very candid, it allows others to feel like, oh yeah, I can relate to that, or yes, that isn't, you know, all these things I've been seeing and the way I'm comparing myself is not real life. Like, these people feel the way I do, and I think that makes people feel less alone. So
Or just the validation.
Yeah.
Like, that was the other reason why we created the
Yeah.
podcast, was because there's so many like I don't want to call them fake, but like they pretend that everything's okay all the time, and that like you're supposed to enjoy every minute, and you're supposed, like, no, there are some moments you're not going to enjoy, and I think that's like Savannah and I are trying to normalize that, you know, like that, like,
Mhm.
you're not alone in that aspect, and we're the type of people you want to listen to then, if that's like, you know, we're just very real. Like, yes, there's ups and there's downs, and it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I like the realness. I think that it really brings
I just don't want you to go to
things-
sleep tonight thinking your marriage is over, because it's really
No,
not. I
no.
promise.
no. No, I'm not. I'm
You're
gonna
beautiful
go
and strong
hug
and
Jess
amazing.
extra
You're gonna
tight.
make it.
Yeah, I feel like, listen. Are you sure
Oh,
you want to
God.
do this? I'm just kidding.
No, it really is. Like, I always call it, like, parenthood is the most beautiful mess. It
Yeah.
is. It is the
Like
most beautiful.
we wouldn't trade it for the world. Like literally the world.
Yeah, it's insanity, but it's the most beautiful thing I've ever done.
Yeah. And we always say like the highest highs and lowest lows, like, because it's hard. And like you said, you're a different person and you do lose a bit of the past you, but you gain this beautiful person, literally the human you birth, but also like you're just a different person. And you become also you and your partner become like you have more empathy, you have more compassion. Like you just become a better person. You really do. Because you have to love someone more than yourself, which me and Lyla, it was a little hard to learn that because we love ourselves so much. But yeah, it's not about you anymore, but it really does make you a better person. So it's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate that.
Yay.
You got
Yeah,
this.
thank you guys so much for being on. And if you guys enjoyed having them here, let us know. And also check out their pod because
Oh yeah, can I do my
Yeah,
spiel?
tell us the
plug
socials.
away.
Tell us.
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, we are Scrunchy Moms Club Podcast. We are on YouTube, so please, yeah, we're the pink one. If you're listening on YouTube or listening in general, yes. So we're Scrunchy Moms Club Podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel. We're at Scrunchy Moms Podcast on TikTok, on Instagram, and yeah, we're every Tuesday we come out with a new episode. So. And we just started our second season a couple weeks ago, and we're rolling. We're good. We're doing it. We're not going anywhere.
Mom or not, it's a great listen, so check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for having us on. We've really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
babes.
being here. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening to A Little Chat.
A little chisme.